What? What did I do?
Shrill!
Too much hair gel?
See, and I think not nearly enough.
So I made a list of pros and cons for all of you so I can know how to feel about you. So what? Are you seriously telling me you've never made a pros and cons list about me? I'm actually offended.
I would never do that.
I had no idea that my overt sexuality bothered you so much.
Ow! My last column was about that.
I'm Hansy McSackgrab? Libel!
Oh my god! This is the perfect segue to talk about terrible friends!
Oh, you mean like the show?
Yeah, of course. So obviously 3/4 of this table is still mad at Daniel, so let's just replace him with a TV friend.
What?
Well, just figuratively. Maybe literally too, but only time will tell.
Oh, dibs on Ross. Tall Ross.
Ross? You have all the friends that you start with Ross? Even I'm better than Ross.
He makes bitchin' music, so we know he's artistic and interesting. He's been married like 100 times, so you know his dick works, or super doesn't work. And he's a paleontologist, so he's probably got all kinds of access to fresh dino DNA, which lines up perfectly with my plan to build my own Jurassic Park.
That's what you're basing this on? What about the fact that Ross is just the shittiest of shitty dads? Not only does his son Ben appear in just 16 out of 236 episodes, implying that Ross doesn't spend enough time with his son, the time that he does spend is crappy. He freaks out when he sees Ben playing with a Barbie doll and forces him to play with a G.I. Joe instead.
Could he be any less confident in his masculinity?
Yeah, but all of the friends who have kids are pretty lackluster parents.
Yeah, doesn't Rachel come back from maternity leave still not having changed a single diaper?
You're gonna have to do one sometime.
Monica and Chandler completely abandon Emma to go have sex because it's Monica's last day of ovulating.
We have to be fast.
Okay, I'll try.
Heaven forbid they wait another month to try and have a baby.
Oh yeah, and Chandler and Joey get so distracted by two women that they manage to leave Ben on a bus.
Where's your baby?
Classic Chandler and Joey. Seeing breasts turn them into cavemen. And they give up a perfectly good apartment in exchange for watching two women kiss for a little bit.
Rachel and I will kiss for 1 minute.
That is a child's idea of sex. And then they went off to go masturbate together?
Alright, well, apart from that, Chandler seems like a pretty good fit.
Seriously? Miss Chanandler Bong?
Yes, he is such a sad sack. He'd be a perfect stand-in for you. Plus, he's got jokes.
If I'd known you guys were coming over, I would have brought more pizza.
Let's not forget that he's a big old homophobe. Chandler is so uncomfortable by anything that isn't completely heteronormative that he didn't even want his cross-dressing father to attend his own wedding.
You don't want him there either, okay? Nobody's gonna be staring at the bride when the father of the groom is wearing a backless dress.
At the risk of making us all feel super old, the 90s was a different time. No sitcom character knew how to discuss gay rights appropriately.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Wasn't there an episode where Ross fired a perfectly good nanny just because he was Freddie Prinze Jr.? Not even gay, just a man in a traditionally female job.
Give me one good reason we shouldn't try him out.
Because it's weird.
I always thought it was shitty that they all judged Joey and Ross for napping together, even though it's clearly non-sexual.
I can't believe it has taken us this long to get here. Obviously, Monica is the perfect friend.
Boo!
What? She's a chef, and she actually gets off on being hospitable and taking care of her friends.
Oh, what do I smell?
I don't know, but it smells good.
Fresh cookies.
Plus, she's just as OCD as you are.
Little beads of condensation are inching their way closer and closer to the surface of the wood.
Stop it!
Oh, so being good at snacks makes up for the fact that she's crazy manipulative? Her entire motivation for giving a speech at her parents' wedding is to make them cry.
You're gonna be crying so hard they'll be fighting for breath.
Oh, Jesus, she's also sexually manipulative. She tricks Chandler into having sex with her when he doesn't even want to, just so she doesn't miss a chance to have a baby.
That's right. I got mine.
Here again, this is not a surprise. All of the friends have crazy, unhealthy sexual power plays. Chandler leaves Rachel's boss chained up in her office overnight with no intention of coming back for her.
God, Phoebe leaves Mike handcuffed to a drain pipe somewhere.
You don't really handcuff guys to water pipes, do you?
Where do you think Mike really is?
Oh, remember how in the first 30 seconds after Joey meets Monica, he takes off all of his clothes and then puts his foot up on the couch as to properly display his junk?
That is the best way to display it.
Okay, I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that that's a felony.
Joey's it is completely off the charts. He forgets the names and faces of most of the women that he slept with, many of whom he slept with under false pretenses. He's a complete misogynist. He's possibly a date rapist.
How you doing?
And none of his friends seem to be bothered by this.
All right, what about Rachel then?
Oh, she's fun to hang out with.
She could take us to lingerie fashion shows.
Do you guys seriously want to be friends with someone who thinks the rules don't apply to them?
Hey.
I meant a second one.
Thank you.
Despite the fact that she is a terrible waitress, Rachel asked the customers at the coffee shop to give her an advance on her tips so she can go on a ski trip. That's not how businesses work, Rachel.
Well, none of them seem to really care about their jobs or being functioning adults.
I don't think my boss likes me either.
I don't think mine likes me either.
Maybe it's a universal thing. Or maybe it's because you're all hanging around here at 11:30 on a Wednesday.
How about Joey?
Seriously, we already covered the creep factor.
Well, he just needs to grow up. Granted, he's got some antiquated ideas about sexuality, but at least he's the only person on the show who's actually genuinely sweet. He's nice, and he's kind, and he's simple.
Joey doesn't share food!
Joey doesn't share food! Joey doesn't share food! I'm not even sorry.
Yeah, you're right, that's f***ed up.
So, Phoebe by default?
She's into weird sex stuff. That's a positive and a negative.
I'm so glad we got here. Phoebe is the worst one, you guys. She presents herself as this super chill, free-loving hippie person, but she is actually the most physically dangerous and violent of all of them.
Give me your money, punk.
I knew you'd be my death, Phoebe Buffet.
Back in my mugging days, a pipe was my weapon of choice.
You have a little bit of an edge.
What's that now?
Yeah, she did actually seriously consider planting PCP in Monica and Chandler's apartment.
We could plant PCP in the apartment and call the cops on her.
She donates a bunch of money to a charity for orphans and takes it back for shit's sake. In reality, none of the friends are good friends.
Yeah, nor are they good people.
And yet, I still thoroughly enjoy the show. This is very confusing.
At one point, Phoebe straight up tells the group that she bases which one of them is her favorite on how much money they make.
If I don't know who makes the most, how do I know who I like the most? Hi, Joey.
Yeah, conversations would also be really boring with them. They actively mock anything intellectual. If Ross ever tries to talk about paleontology or science, they openly pretend like they're asleep.
Yeah, and none of them care about history or politics or the world. 2/3 of the group don't know who we fought in World War I.
Who did we fight in World War I? Mexico? Yes, very good.
And on a completely unrelated note, they steal from each other and strangers all the time.
You know what? Also, I need some cash.
Okay, you want me to stop at the ATM?
No. While you're at Ross's, if you see me lying around.
Alimony.
And still, you're all forgetting the most glaring example. What major American tragedy happened in New York during the timeline of Friends?
Ban on big sodas.
9/11.
Oh shit, 9/11. And we know from the interstitial B-roll that takes place between the scenes that this is a New York both with and without the Twin Towers.
Means that they were so wrapped up in planning Monica and Chandler's wedding and getting knocked up and acting in a movie that they didn't even acknowledge it.
They were in New York during 9/11 and didn't mention it once. What the actual
Seem to remember an episode where Joey was wearing a Fire Department of New York t-shirt.
Yes, but knowing how self-centered all the friends are, Joey was probably just walking around an ash-filled lower Manhattan looking for a sandwich when he saw a bunch of people wearing FDNY shirts and thought, I should get me one of those. Hey, how you doing?
They're all horrible people. But unlike Seinfeld, where the horrible people get put on trial and go to jail for being horrible, we're supposed to like the friends. The writers want us to think they're good and kind people and to like them, even though there's no reason to.
I actually liked you guys. But it doesn't matter because what you did was wrong.
But you did like us, and you should.
It's the whole ethos of the goddamn show. Well, I guess it would seem there are some central perks to keeping Daniel around.
What about Gunther?
Oh, yes, Gunther.
Of course, Gunther!
So did everybody else just binge watch Friends on Netflix like I did?
Hell yeah.
No, I watched it the first time through and remembered every detail.
I hate you. Hi everybody, thank you for watching this episode of After Hours, which is an episode that I wrote, my first one. Yay!
Dan put like way too much effort into these pro and cons lists.
Yeah.
This is like real shit from my actual personal life.
I don't.
It's be very uncomfortable.
I do leave him at parties.
So, yeah, if in the comments you want to write up like a pros and cons list of us.
You don't have to do.
Please don't,
you
because
don't
it
have
really
to.
hurts our feelings more than
Yeah.
you'd think.